going back to our human nature and our relationship with money, we all want to make more money and we don't want to lose it. So we're all driven to make more money. And sometimes taking shortcuts and getting greedy, we make mistakes and get more money. So look at what you were just talking about. Okay. I went through it. Our parents went through it. Our grandparents went through it, where we all started taking money out of our houses back in that last cycle. Okay. Now what happened this time around was people wanted to get ahead by putting money into cryptocurrency, getting ahead. Oh, the currency is going to go away, so let's get ahead in crypto because it's going to shoot through the roof and I'm going to make all my money, right? And going back to the brokers make money just by moving money, just by the transactions. So it all comes down to what I say, alignment of interest and trust. I've asked plenty of people, oh, I want you to put your money into this particular investment. And I've asked them, did you put your money in there? Well, no. Well, if you didn't put your money in there, it's not good enough for you, then why would I put my money in there? There are a lot of people out there that are very generous with my money. They just don't get it. No, I want you to put it in here, put it in here, put it in here. How much you have in there? Nothing. So you want to look for alignment of interest. You want to look for, it's always a people business. You want to look at their heart and their soul. What are they doing for you and not so much for themselves? There's always a saying that I used to have. You want to get away from people who go by this mantra. We use people and love money. You want to get away from that. You want to get to the people who say, we use money to love people. There's a big difference. What are they looking at first? Looking at the money first and using people to get it? Or are they using the money to get more people in their lives? There's a different business and a different approach. And those are few and far between. But those are the people you want to look for that use money for a higher purpose, to benefit others, because it's not about chasing wealth. It's about attracting wealth. And you will attract it because you become a good steward of your wealth and helping others as well, not chasing it. Never got into the cryptocurrency. I mean, I don't know how much more time we have, but that's another force that's coming as well, is the devaluation of our currencies and currencies around the world, which is all going to go into digital monetization later on. But not with Bitcoin. What's that?
They're doing it right now. I don't know if you saw that. They're using this whole fallout in the exchanges. They're using this, highlighting. It's why you see it in the news every day. And then behind, they're doing beta test of the new digital currency, which is.
So here's how this works, because it's a geopolitical storm as well. And let me tell you something about politics. Okay, while it's good to be aware of what goes on in politics, I don't participate in politics. I was taught that politics is designed to subvert your emotions in order to reap your production. Sounds like you're a sucker to me if you get involved in this. And think about what they do. They do all this stuff to interfere in your life, to just twist your emotions so they can get you to do what they want you to do. But the money doesn't do that. See, the money and the elitists, they're above the politics. That's where everybody wants to be. So get your mind out of the politics. Get out of the game. Don't be sucker and a prisoner to the politics as well. Understand it, but understand what the moves are being made, and then make those moves to put yourself in a better position. So what's happening with the politics now? Yes, they're doing all this stuff and printing all this money and inflating all this budget and all this deficit because they're trying to destroy the dollar and really hurt our lives. Why? So that we can all cry that we can't eat. We have no money for, paying our gas bills or paying the gas in the car, or paying for food. And they're creating this entire crisis that we can go crying back to the government. Oh, government, please help me. And then they say, you know what? We'll help you. We have a solution. Fuck the dollar. I'm going to give you a digital dollar. Fuck the banks. We'll give it to you directly. And we will allow you to have digital money and we will save you. And what they're really doing is taking more control of your life and putting you into stronger handcuffs by controlling what you can spend your money on, how you can spend your money, how much of it you get. And if they decide they don't like you, they can just take it away. Because you know what? It's theirs. They're just loaning it to you and they can take it back whenever they want. And the more power they have to do that digitally, the more they can just go in, boop, and take it away. So this is a power play to put people into more prisons. Is it coming? It's coming. Are we going to end up with digital currency? It's coming. Okay, there's no stopping it. But understand what it is. But there are ways to prepare yourself. And I want to say something else that you go counter what you said, Chris. Yes, it may be too late for amassing the money now, but people have skills. People have resources. People need to make themselves valuable because there are other people with money looking for valuable talent to help them build their vision as well. If you don't have the resources to build your vision financially, then help build somebody else's and become a part of somebody else's vision, because you do have skills and you do have resources. Be a part of something else bigger than you then. So you may be too late to do your own, but there are plenty of people that will allow you to tag along on their vision to help you get your vision as well. So it's not a complete lost cause if you're too late. You just got to think a little bit differently.
I love it. Now, I've read a lot of books, Creature from Jekyll Island, Secrets of the Federal Reserve. One thing you just said there kind of posed an interesting question, and I hadn't really given it much thought till now. So for those on here that don't understand this, the Fed, the Federal Reserve is not part of the U.S. government. Okay, it's a separate entity. The central banks are separate. They loan money to the U.S. government in the form of debt. The U.S. government issues debt. They give money because they control monetary policy.
Let me stop you right there, okay? Because that's a great point, and I want everybody to understand this point, okay? The way bankers think, which is what everybody should change their thinking.
Everybody has to think like a banker.
Like a banker, you need to think, and this is how they think: own nothing and control everything. Own nothing and control everything. A bit that goes against people's way. We should be owning stuff. We should be amassing our assets and stuff. Owning a piece of real estate is actually a liability.
People can take it from you.
People can take it. People can trip and fall. The insurance, and it costs. If we look at the simple side of a balance sheet, income and expenses, real estate almost all the time costs you more, not only in expenses but in liability, as opposed to the income that you can get. Now, the way you control everything and own nothing is by lending to it.
Exactly.
So just by what you're saying now, right? The Federal Reserve loans money to the government. The Federal Reserve doesn't own or run the government, but it controls it because it can turn the spigot off or on depending on the needs and the greed of the politicians. And the money always rules. And so the Fed doesn't own the government, but it certainly controls it.
Buy with the gold, makes the rules. Now, that brings you to the second part of that. So what you're seeing right now, and I've just, we all know about this digital dollar. We know it's coming. There's nothing we can do to really stop it. This whole thing with the crypto, problems with the exchanges is just a catapult. It's a catalyst that catapults them to have a narrative, because that's all it is. It's just pushing in the agenda. A narrative to then really make this happen because, we're saving everybody. Oh my God, you guys lost so much. These bad people, which will never go to jail.
It's not good in their hands. We have to control this one. We can do it better.
Because they obviously they're just taking. If you look at this FTX thing, I'm not getting political, but look who was behind that. Look who was getting funded by this. Who got the money? Politicians. But anyway.
Exactly.
Now you've got the Fed that controls everything, but they don't run the government. They control the money, which is die with the gold, makes the rules. Is the U.S. government trying to get rid of that power that the Fed has? Is there really like a great reset that has to do with the Fed and the U.S. government, or the Fed, the world, and the central banks trying to kind of disembark this relationship, this tie? I don't know. I feel like the Fed's too powerful and too connected. However, I don't know. Could there be an argument to be made that this could be that? Or is the Fed behind the digital dollar? And actually, I don't know. It's so complicated because
I understand it to be that it's the CBDC, the central banking digital currency. And so the central bankers are behind this, and they want to usurp the commercial bankers and go direct to the consumers with their digital wallets and get the commercial banks out of the way. Because part of what they try to do, right, is, when they were giving all of this stimulus and they gave it to all the banks. This is one of the reasons why you're seeing such a correction in the traditional stock markets today. They gave all this money to the banks. And then what the banks did is they did a lot of corporate lending where a lot of these corporations took that money and bought back their own stock.
Right, absolutely.
Right. And they leverage it up and they propped up the price. Well, when you prop up the price, but you don't have enough underlying production to support that price, everybody else jumps in. Oh, we're making all this money until it all collapses. And that's what you're seeing today is a debt collapse on the corporate side. And all the people that own the equities are the ones that are suffering because equity takes the first losses.
Yep, the middle class is who's going to take the hit on this.
That's exactly right. So the Fed's looking at this. Wait, I tried to fix this problem because the Fed bought yeah, I don't know how many trillions of dollars, 11, 12, 13, 14 trillion dollars worth of the mortgage-backed securities to stop the crash from happening back in 2010. So they took it all on their balance sheet, said, okay, everybody can get their houses back in order, get to producing again. And then the last couple of years, they started dumping that stuff back into the marketplace again and wanted to give more stimulus so people can have more money to create more production, but it didn't happen that way. So now they're saying, you know what? You guys don't want to do it our way. You all want to be greedy. Great. We're getting you out of the system and we'll go direct to the consumer ourselves so we can control and we'll have more power without the banks in the way. So that's what I see coming.
It makes all the sense. It's the